Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We're back again with our OWASP Bangalore meets, and today we are starting a very interesting topic with the whole new rhythm. We would be meeting in soon, especially for the in-person meetups, probably from next month itself. We're just trying to make sure that we're working it out. So today we have Sunita with us, who's going to talk about mobile insecure data storage. I will let her talk about herself and the topic and what she's going to be sharing. So let me go ahead and bring her. So, Sunita, over to you.
Okay, I just want to give my brief introduction here. My name is Sunita, and I'm working as an associated security researcher analyst. And I'm information security enthusiast also, and bug bounty hunter, and I'm also a developer, mobile application developer. So I in past years, from past years, I worked on the mobile application development, and sometimes I also worked on web applications too. And I'm also a member of information infosec girls. This is my little bit introduction here.
Yeah. So,
So
Sunita, let's do this. To save the bandwidth, you can turn off your video and you can share
okay,
your screen.
okay, definitely. Uh, okay, fine.
You can share your screen.
My screen is visible now.
Yes. Let's make it full screen.
Yeah, okay. Mm,
Yeah. I think the fourth icon.
ah, yeah,
At the bottom, is
it's
the fourth
take a
icon.
little bit time.
Okay.
Just I
I
need
think
to
you can get
start again.
started. You can get started meanwhile.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just a second.
Oh, this happens sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's take time. Little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, absolutely. It's okay. You can get started like this itself. Don't worry.
Okay. I don't know what.
Let's start.
Okay, so let's get started our topic. Okay, insecure data storage. So here I start with before going the topic. I just start here like mobile era have two platforms, right, which are like Android and iOS. So today we are discussing insecure data storage for the Android mobile applications, not for the iOS. So it's just clear the things like we are just working on the Android mobile applications right now. So in this today's session, we will go further with Android mobile insecure data storage. So this discussion I separated into two sections. We can say TT methodology. So the first of which Yeah. So in the first part, we will focus on the theory of the data storage from the security perspective, as well as a brief explanation. And I explain of the some methods of the data storage on Android. The second part is the second section. We will discuss and focus on the testing of these data storage solutions through the uses of the test cases. So yeah, we are going first. First, we target the theory part, and in second part, we are testing the application files and see the cases, how we can test the applications, and how we check the findings or vulnerabilities for the insecure data storage. So, okay, insecure data storage agenda. What is it? Like, what is insecure data storage? Why it's happened and where it's happened, and how we can detect the insecure data storage here, like in the application and with the any target, and how to explore the attack for that finding or that vulnerability. So these are the following steps we one by one follow, and we clear the things how we can go the target for the insecure data storage. Now, next one is like, okay, so insecure data storage, what's that mean? Here I'm gonna to like describe the things very easy and very simplest way. I'm trying to the explain the things like everyone can get the things like which are technical or non-technical, not an issue. So yeah, so insecure data storage. If I divide insecure data and storage in three parts, so what's the mean of insecure? Like insecure, like leaking in security or safety. So data is a information. Data is like who you are. Like I'm Sunita. I'm like a software engineer. I have some details. I have address. I have like some personal information also, like social media and other things too. So these are the information of my, as well as apk or application also use their some information, their private or some sensitive information there is always here, like um, every application have some private details in the like for the application. Storage, here the storage means that a process of storing something for future use. Like I store something which I used, I just want to use in future, like after 2 days, after 3 days, after years. So that's a process of storing, is called the storage. So, in simplest way, if I combine all the three things like insecure data storage, so how I, in simplest way, how I can like mention that thing, like a process of storing information with lacking in security, right? So, in technical terms, a process of storing data, right? Like processing of storing information, or we can say data in the device using different methods which not properly secure. This is called it insecure data storage. So what happened here? Here we are talking about the data storing, but the data is storing in the device, not anywhere else. So what's the issue to storing the data in the device? Every device whichever whatever you use for the information or anything else. So these processes have storing the data information is called it in insecure data storage. But this is insecure, but why it's insecure? But because some methods we are used for the storing the data which are not properly used for that particular thing. Okay, now next, move on the why insecure data storage vulnerabilities occur. So it's a simplest thing, like we storing sensitive prior or private data in the device, and we also can say like we are storing the data in the device. Yeah, we also can say like local storage, data storage. We can mention that thing with the local data storage. And second one thing, like developers, okay, applications developed by the any developer. Okay, so developers what assume, like in a starting phase or in a sometimes of experience, they are don't know like what's the purpose of the security for the application, what the mean or what the level of that thing, what's the what get the loss any person get from the application. So developers just assume that, like, storing data on client side means device or in the application, we will restrict other users or application from having access to this data. So here, like, I'm also a developer, right? So in the starting phase, I really don't know about the things. What is the security? Why we need to the secure? I got the some sample of the application. I need to create this type of application. I need to use that functionality over there in the application. So I just started to working on that. Nothing to start clicking in my mind, like security also important at the development time. So we just need to aware of that time. But still, I met a lot of developers, they are who don't care about all those things and security purpose perspectives also. Okay. uh, just a note, like routing is not safe for any mobile device, because routing is a process which give any user to privilege to controlling the things and doing like central over various android subsystems. So this is not right to root your personal device. If you are particularly use any device for testing, that is good, that is right, no, not an issue with that. But yeah, your personal device is not should not be rooted. Okay. So am I vulnerable to insecure data storage? So here what we understand, like what is the insecure data storage. If data storage not properly secured, means that it's a insecure data storage, right? And why it's insecure? Because of sometimes coding issues, or sometimes developers are careless about that things, the security perspective. So that's a thing. And we usually store the data in the mobile applications, so that is the thing. So, okay, fine. I have a target, and I need to work on that. So, how I can say, like, okay, this application is vulnerable to insecure data storage? So, in most of cases, like if I am talking about the any applications, most of applications use data storage, right? Because how I can say that things, like suppose we are generally used in our device many applications, right? We just log in one time and we use for the long time. We are not we are not login every day every time for that, like okay, we need to use Facebook, so login there. We just one time login and forget all those things. So after a long time, if I want to use that application, I just click on that icon and just my application started working on that. So that means, like, application have some data somewhere. I'm not saying like in the device or in the application or any like cloud based some cloud based APIs. So everywhere can be possibility to having the data storage. Okay. So depend on the knowledge of the developing the application, like how we develop the application, where we store the like data. So I just we are just need to know some basic things for it, which are like, okay, if we are thinking about the insecurity, right? So first we need to know about the security, right? Like what things are meant to secure their, what's the flow of working of their. So yeah, these are the basic things we need to know. So here also similar thing, like we just need to know like what type of storage mechanism available. So mechanism means like how we store the data, what things we used to store the data in the application. Like what's the process of the doing things. how we can doing things in the code based because of that things are vulnerable or insecure. And with that, if we know the mechanism, like how they store the data, what things we used for the storing the data, what mechanism of the things to store data in application device or using the API. So, but also we must need to know like what type of data we are following, that like okay, this data or this information should not be there because it's not secure. It's not a right way to showing the things or showing the information or storing the information there. Okay, now go to the next one. Like what type of storage mechanism are available? So here I include some mechanism. We can say the methods or name of the flow of working processes which are doing this by using these methods or mechanism. We store the data in your application or devices. So here, like SQL databases, shared preferences, SD card, temporary file, log files, XML data storage, or manifest files. Some of these binary data storage, cookies storage, cloud synced. So these are the mechanism. These are the processes of the following the storing the data in the device, in the application, or in somewhere else. Maybe we can say the cloud or API we use for the storing the data. So believe me, this vulnerability, like insecure data storage, is so simple, so easiest to find out in every application. We can check that things like. So I give you some tricks how to know the things by using easiest way, how we know the things, how we get the things. It's not necessary to like okay, I'm a developer, I know the code, so I can easily do the things. But I want I'm a developer, I know the things, and I can make the easy for other ones. So yeah, so what happened, like all methods which like these are the like SQL database, shared preferences, SD card. So these are methods, we can say these are mechanism or methods uh, prefers their name, like all methods. If I am saying if a method used for the SQL database, so in that method name we mentioned something like SQL or database related things, so we can get easily to clue okay, there is the there in the code there is the SQL database used. For this same for shared preferences, a default method, some shared preferences related to things over there like in the method. So we get the like okay, there is the shared preferences method is used. And same as for others, like SD card also known as external data storage, we can say, because it's not a part of the mobile device. We externally used that SD card, so that's why we also can SD card is a external data storage, right? Okay, so we just discussed like how we can get the like in the code, like code based things, like how we if we know the mechanism, like these are the mechanism like SQL database, shared preferences, SD card, and all other things. So if I see the code, so I get the point. Okay, this is for the database. This is for the SQL database. Here is for this application or this for the particular functionality, shared preference is used. So yeah, in the next here, like SQL databases. So I'm not explaining here like code, how it's work, how it's happened, what happened with the code. But I just the clue how you get the things easiest way. So SQL database. So here I just see a method like open or create database. So what is that? Like you can understand the database, okay? So you just get a 1 point. Okay, database is used here. In next line, if you are saying like exec SQL, so that means you are getting second point like okay, SQL database is used for this application or for the particular application or for the particular functionality application used like SQL database. Okay. So next for like shared preferences. Shared preferences like what I said, like all methods are prefer their names, right? So this method prefer their name, like shared preferences. So here is the method get shared preferences, and our mechanism name is like how we know the mechanism, like what mechanism application use shared preferences, and how we get in the code get shared preferences. Okay, so this is the easiest way to know the things, like how we can read the code. So these are the basic little bit things we need to just focus on that, and everything is easy for to understand how the things are working for the application. So it's not hard, it's really easy, but only you need to focus on little bit tricky things. External storage. So external storage I also give a point like SD card, also known as external storage here, right? So here a method like get external file directory. So you can just get a clue like okay, external files are used here. So what is the flow of working we are not getting, we are not discussing here. So I just give a clue like how we can get the things, like what mechanism used that particular application, right? Now move for further. Okay, so what different type of data are stored? If these type of data are stored in the local data storage, with these mechanism with the insecurity, so these are the including in insecure data storage vulnerability. So what data types are there? Like username, cookies, location data, authentication token or password. Like authentication token or password give the authorized for the application to access which in our device. So for a long time we can use directly our application, no need to any need to type our password, email id and username, all those things. Stored application log or debug information. So it's stored application logs or debug information. What happening here? Like when we develop the code, so what we are doing there, like we just sometimes we are not trying to do things for the long time, like so we just try to keep for quickly process. We are just sometimes store the some use the functionality for the logs, and sometimes the code seeing the code process of the flying, that time we use the debugging information like okay for the this process what we get the result and what the process of following that functionality. But so what happened that time, like we that time we for the convenience we use the like logs or debugging methods there. But sometimes what happened like uh, suppose I'm working on a project, I'm doing the things on there, I know what I do doing the with the things. But suppose in unfortunately I dropped that project and I got some new or someone other person working on that, and that time I also skip that log and debugging methods there in the code, which is not aware for anyone else, like any other developer don't know like what I did in the code already. So why for that scenario we can say like we sometimes we forgot the log files in the code. So these are not good because sometimes we store the some private or sensitive information there, like login, username, password. Some API keys are there which have some highly privileges for that some information over there. And personal information like date of birth, address, social media links are there, device name, cached application message or transaction history, UDID or EMEI, network connection name, private API call for high user roles, credit card data, and account data. So we are knowing the things like we are using in journal life like Google Pay, Paytm, and all those things for the convenient or our daily routine life. So what we are doing there, like we just enter our username and password for one time, and we are using for the daily purposes and some important transactions also. So by using these type of application, we are making our life so easy and so convenient for the flow of working. So that's why we need a data storage in the application. But it's really must to know like how to data store in the application, because if we are store the data without security perspective, so that means we got a lot of harm for that. We sometimes we lost our personal data too, and sometimes we are lost all details in our device. Anyone can access all those things from there. So that is not good for any user or any business perspective. So yeah, uh, if we are develop any code or any application, so we should need to aware about the security perspective also. Okay, now it's time to practice like how the things are going. So some of these mechanism I'm doing here in front of you. Like okay, these things are how goes the how goes and how it's working on the application. So first I just need to start my Genymotion here. So Genymotion is a device because right now I don't have a physical device here. So I just use this virtual device. It's also working as like a uh, actual device which we are used for testing. So yeah, and just Genymotion also rooted. We are not need to root this device. So yeah. So every like pen tester use the Genymotion because it's easy to use and easy to get the things over there. But sometimes it's uh, give a lot of troubleshooting for the things like okay. Okay, so okay, so I just develop a code. I just develop a application for testing purposes. Like we can test or we can practice on that. So if you want to use that application, you can use that GitHub link from here. And I haven't noted this one. Okay, so I just need to browse it. Okay. Okay, I just put it one side. Hmm. Okay. So this is my GitHub link. So here you can get like this is the insecure data code for that application which I used here. Like here you can directly get the APK file. So you can also practice on that application. And if you want to see the code, you can check from here insecure data. Okay, so I already have the that insecure data application. So what I need to do here, I just need to drag and drop the application in the Jenny motion. So it's automatically install that application in that Jenny motion device. Okay, so here I started my command. Okay. So sometimes what happened, like our drag and drop method, drag and drop process is not working for the installing in the Jenny motion. So just I uninstall the application from here again. I just give you like how we can install by using command. So we are using Android debug bridge here, like ADB install and your application or target name like insecure I have. So I just need to enter here like adb install insecure.apk. So any application you can easily to install by using this command. So okay, I just need to check here. Okay, so here my application installed now again. Okay. So now this is the thing. First thing. Now, how I get the things like how I connect with this device. So first I need to know about the devices, how many devices I are connected from my system. So how I check, like I check like ADB devices. So here is mentioned 192.168.189.101 colon 5555. So okay. So how I know like this device is actual this device. So here the mention maybe you can see the things. Okay. So now you can see the device IP here. So we are checking like this, like okay, this is the this is IP for that device, right? And one more thing here, like suppose we have multiple devices connected to our like system. So how we install that like application in that, like suppose I don't want to install that application or any application in the Jenny motion. I want to install in other device which is already connected with my system. So right now any other device not connected with my system, but I supposed to like if I have two devices connected with my system. So what I do, how I can install in that particular device. So I just need to type like adb for hyphen s for specific. Here you can give your device ip or device address, and you can like install. Okay. Hey, yeah, here you can like give your like application name, like any apk file dot apk file, what you have here, right? So you just install in particular device, specify. So specific device you used for the hyphen s for the specific device to install the application. Okay, so just I need to enter in that device. Okay, so I just need to access the ADB shell here. Okay, now I have access of this device like Genymotion, right? So how I just want to explore the things like, okay, what I have in this device. So I have some directories here like ACCT, dev, OEM, root, sbin, sd card, var, and data, and lot of directories are here, and every directory have different purpose for that in the device. So like a default path for all applications have. So in ADB shell right now we are in that. So how we get all applications in a single directory. So here is the path like cd data. Okay. Now here I just okay. So I just need to export this file. Okay. So you can just check like lot of packages are here, right? Like MS file manager here, Android, Pips, Bluetooth, and many more packages are here, right? So these are packages whole in my device. Okay. So okay. Uh, so here my application is in secure data. Okay. So over there, like I can see the package, something related to this, like com.insecure data, right? So what I need to do here, like okay, fine. I'm saying like all packages are here. If I installing anything, we can see in the like in the data directory. So I just need to like uninstall that thing. Like again, I just uninstall that application just for the clear the things. Like what I'm saying, is it right or wrong? Okay. So I just uninstall that application from my device. So I just again need to check like this package like com.insecure data. This is I'm telling directly because I know what's the package that application particular application used. So here I again check that. Now you can see here is not com.insecure data, right? Just give me a second. Okay. So again, I just uh, install that particular application. So adb install insecure. Okay. Right now I'm in the shell, so I can't install from here. So I need to go outside. Okay. So now I just need to again install that application. Adb install. It's okay. Now you can see here after installing the application. Okay. So we got the application here. Okay. Just we again get the shell. Okay. Now we directly access data directory. for the all packages. Now I explore the things. Okay. Now we again get the that package which is com.insecure data, right? Now, now first we are exploring the insecure data. First we are checking that package. What this package is, what things it's have, right? What packages this mm, packages for that particular application. We have the data in that particular package. So I just need to add like cd com dot insecure data. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. So now we are in the package of that particular application insecure data, right? So we just go inside. Right now we have some cache, code cache, and library. So we got some default folders like cache, code cache, and library files. So we just check, just doing the things before. I just need to start my application. I again need to check. Okay, now you can see, right? Now what you can see here, you can observe like when I don't start my the application. That time cache, code cache, and library folders are there, directories are there. After starting my application, I got some more folders or directories are here, like cache code and code cache, libraries before. And after that, start my application, I got databases, files, library main, and shared preferences. So what that's mean? We can check that files also, like we just check like cache file. Okay, so in cache file I don't have anything or any information I don't have here, right? So I need to go outside from there. I need to again check some other directories, like I just want to check like databases. Okay. Okay, so here I don't have anything as well before directory, so I just go outside. So what happened like in starting phase, like when I started the security, okay, here the data things are need to check. So uh, that time I observed some people are checking like they don't know about the things, how the flow of working. So they check every directory without, because they have some uh, like uh, knowledge some knowledge losing, like how the get the properly things are there. So I just checked like that, like every file I checked. So by using this, what happened like uh, we are losing our time, right? We check every file, doesn't matter there is data is presented or not. We are just doing the things like we are giving all time for the testing the files and folders. So this is not the right way, right? So okay, and last I also want to check this one folder also. Okay, so what happening here, like all folders almost don't have anything, right? So library is the folder or directory where the application use some library, default libraries, and some custom libraries over there. So we just now need to worry about that part, like we need to check the library directories also there. So okay, so what happening here, like, okay, so what happened, like every directory which I have right now in my this application package, right? But all those directories don't have anything else for the leaking any information or losing any data from the storing the things. So okay, now I start, like I just give some details here, like username, like okay, here I enter some password and just try to log in here. Okay, finally we are successfully logging here. Now, like how we know like login functionality have something unique or something related to things like storing data. Login functionality is used some mechanism for the storing data or not, right? So if you know the mechanism which we already discussed in the like slide, so what happened, like we know the SQL database, shared preferences, SD card, realm, and many more mechanism are there, right? We just need to know, and we just need to store in our mind when we are doing this vulnerability, working on the insecure data storage. That time we just sorry, we just need to aware of that. So a process of working the application, what happened, like when I click on button login, right? That means I process something by clicking on that button. So what that mean, if I started to checking my code, now I am talking about the code, right? Because everyone need to know, no need to worry about that code, because code understanding is really easy if you have some basic things, like okay, how I told you, like how we get the mechanism, like okay, this mechanism used in the application, this like I again want to show you here, like okay, so I just told you like SQL database use like this type of some functionality in the code. Shared preferences use the get shared preferences method, and external storage use some get external file directory, right? So as similar that we are also checking our code, like for this application I'm not doing here like reverse engineering, because I already have code at GitHub. So I just want to show you here like how we can check the code, right? So here I go to the login activity, right? Login component. So I just go to the login and this file. Okay. So in this file, first what I do here, like what the things on the login page, we have two input fields and one button, right? And button name is login. That means that login name is mentioned in the code somewhere, right? So first I just try to find out the login. So what I do here, like login. Oh, logins, many more things. Okay. So here is the login button, right? So this is the actual login which we used for the process of like try to log in the application. And here is the uh, method for the method on press. So in on press, this on press method have login handler, right? So this login handler actually we can say actually a process of doing for that login form, like what things will happen after clicking on that login. So login, when we click on the login, that time on press function is called it or catching the things. And in on press function, like we have a function like login handler. So I just try to find out where is the login function. So here is the login function, right? So what happening here, just suppose I don't know any code. I don't know about any coding part. I don't have any skill knowledge about the things. But we have a key. We have to know. We are knowing the things like what is actually the things are working with that, like which mechanism are used there, and particular mechanism use that things or that methods, that process, right? So what happened, like, okay, in login handler I am coming here. Here is like condition like email, password, validation, something related things. Here a get value handler. So in that function I can see a method. What method? Shared preferences method is there, right? So now we get the one thing, like, okay, here we use a mechanism, and mechanism name is shared preferences, right? So that mechanism mostly use default methods which are taking the preferences of their name, right? So no need to worry about the things. Okay. Okay, now I got the thing, like shared preferences are used here. So I just need to check in my application where and what value I have in the shared preferences. So here in the package of com insecure data, I have one folder is shared preferences. I can easily get, okay, what the mechanism, shared preferences mechanism, and shared preferences mechanism use the get shared preference method. And when that method is used, or that method or that mechanism used in the application, that time default these folders are created automatically for in that application package, right? So now I just try to access that cd and shared preferences. Okay, so now you can now you get the thing, like how we get the mechanism uh, for the application, like what mechanism is used for that application or for the particular functionality, right? So now I enter in the shared preferences. Now I explore the that directory. Okay, I got a XML file. Okay, so I just need to read out from here, like, wait. Okay, okay. So now you can see we have a password, and the password is in simple text, right? This is not right. Okay, and here another string which have email, and which email is present here, which I used at login time. Okay, so how the things are working. So first, what we need to know about the things, how you can do the things are there for the application. So I again repeat the things, like we know the insecure data storage, right? We know right now, we know why it's happened, what things are doing in the code that time. Because of that things we are losing that part. for security perspective. So uh, we are just can say like security leakage is there in the application. And now after knowing the insecure data storage and why it's happened, after that we know the mechanism, right? What mechanism, like shared preferences, SQLite and all those things, right? What type of data is there? So what type of data I have, like personal data, right? I have these the accessible data, application accessible data, which is present in the application, right? Which is not good. Anyone can any other applications or any other user can access that things very easily way, right? So now I need to go further. Okay, so when we start the application, so how, what I told you before, like our application start, like what things are going here, what functions, what methods are used here. So all process will happen with that functionality. Like if I am clicking on login button, so that means I need to check the code from there, right? So step by step, I can get the flow of working. I get the clue what the mechanism is used in the application. So, okay. So here, I just need to fill some details here. Like Sunita, my account number is here, something. Uh, okay. Purpose is like, okay. Suppose I have like amount data is here, like suppose we need to transfer a amount for monthly basis to our family support. So what I need to do, I don't like to log in every month for that particular transaction, or for that particular transaction I don't like to need to check document and type here like okay these details are need to for the transaction. So what I generally do, like I just choose the remember me, right? So remember me means like I hold all data. That means like I'm storing somewhere this data, right? The application hold that data somewhere, right? But where this application or this target, where they store the data. So how I can then how I know the things. So here, by using the code, I can get easily where this data is stored. Like if I am seeing the data from here, so where it will be stored. So I just again go to the code, right? I have some other files here. This is the loader functionality. This is the home functionality mentioned for the transaction. Okay. So here I again search for the transaction button, right? This is something else. And where's the transaction? Okay. This is the transfer button, right? And again, simply following the things like, right? First check from where the process will going the in the process. So I know when I click on transfer button, that time all things, all process, all mechanism are doing the things for that particular functionality. So what functionality, what mechanism, what further things are used for that particular activity or process, right? So I know the button name like transfer, right? I just come to the code and check the transfer button, right? Now, transfer button have a function calling on press. When I press on the transfer button, that time a function called transaction handler. So I just need to find out like where is the transaction handler. Okay. So this is the function. When I click on transaction button, that time this function is calling, right? Now my target is here. I just want to know the mechanism. Okay, if I am holding some data in the application or in the device, I must to need to know the mechanism first. So what I am doing the things here, like I know the name of the mechanism, right? It's easy to find out the mechanism in the code. No need to like think much more about that thing. Okay. So here is that some name I have as code, some permission related code here, like okay. So these are the permission we really need to do the things here. And okay, so here we got something interesting in the code, like we got some path. Okay, so we just try to understand what is in that, like rnfs dot external storage directory path. You got the thing, what happening here, right? What I what I give a key for the understanding for the like mechanism, like every method have a preferences of that name, right? So what I don't know need to worry about like what happening here, right? I just need to know about the what mechanism is in the code, right? For the doing the further things, right? So here I get the external storage directory path. In external storage path, here's some, okay, so I got the first thing, right? Now I need to go to the my application. I just need to, okay, before that I just need to check my SD card, right? Okay, so here I have a SD card, right? SD card directory, so we can easily get the SD card. Okay, so here what you can see, like alarm directory here, Android directory is here, camera like DC I am here, download movies, music, notification, pictures, podcast, and ringtones are here, right? Okay, so what happened? We got the clue from the code, like this application use shared preference, oh sorry, sd card, external storage, right? External storage means that sd card, right? That's why I just enter into the sd card here, right? So now I just click here. I need just give some permission. Okay, so my transaction is successfully okay. Okay, that's fine. Now what happening here, like I just need to again check that directories in the sd card. Okay, what you get here, like what you get here, like alarm, android, all these directories are there before. But what is new here, like my testing is new here. Okay, so how it's coming here, like what happening with that key pressing. Okay, so I just want to little bit more clarity about that, like I just need to go there. Okay, so what happening here, here the external storage um directory, my testing created there on the press on the transfer button, right? In this transfer button, when we create a directory, right? And in that path, we also add a file, data.json. Okay, fine. So this is the little bit thing we just need to know, We just we are not worry about like how to process. We just need to playing the things on keywords like okay mkdir, like okay creating the file or like directory, right? Path add equals to this means that this file is also add on this path, right? So this is the simplest way to doing the things in the application. Okay, so okay, fine. Now I just need to go here like in the my testing. Okay, so what we saw in the code, like in testing, there is adding a file which is data.json. Okay, so how I just need to know about what the data is holding in data.json or anything else. Okay, so what happening here? Like I have all details which I use for transferring the data, right? So this is the dummy part. So I just like give the details some in the basic level. So okay, so what happening here, like in sd card we also stored the data, right? So anyone can access from the sd card, right? From here other application also access the sd card easily. Okay, so here the main things like how you can check the code. Like before you need to know from where to start the process, right? And where like what things you need to know. You should need to know about the mechanism, what type of data is there, and in the app through the application how you the process for the things, like where you doing something and where you are doing some activity, from there any process is happening, right? So from so how you can check the code, you just try to find out that part. Like if I am clicking on any button, if I am clicking on any other part, that means if I'm using doing the things on that parts, that means something doing in the code. So that code is processing something for the application process. So just what happened, what we did here, like we just go to the transfer button, and after that we check in the code like where is the transfer button and what function or what mechanism is exactly used for that particular uh, function for that particular part, like transfer, login, storing. So that these are the things are here. So in the last one I just want to one more explain the things like okay, so what things we are checking here, like we just saw the shared preferences, how we can check. We saw the like how we check the sd card storing the data, right? Now I just want to explain one more thing here, like I just need to go outside. Okay, so yeah, so we are talking about the log files, right? So what happened? Like when any developer writes some code, right? Sometimes they forgot the log files are there. They put in that log files some sensitive information is there. So how we can check the log files? ADB log we can we have no need to access any shell part, so we just okay. So first we need to completing that thing. Okay, just it's okay. Now what I do here, like I just log out. So what things is happened that time, we just got here like any error, any information, any warning from here, right? So suppose I just type like this and enter one. This is the password and just try to log in, right? Please type valid in mail. Okay. In log file, what we can say, what we saw here, like email is not right, right? In the information part. So logs are working for that. Right now, I don't have any log things in that application. So if suppose if I'm logging here, like just a second, I click on here. If we have some log files at login time, we can easily see here, like if anything else here. No, right now we don't have any log files, so we are not able to see here, right? But if suppose we have a log functions in the code, that time you can show here the details which log files have, right? So this type of things you can check for the insecure data storage. So make sure the things like you can keep in mind with the mechanism and uh, how we check the application, from application to code, how we need to process, right? How we need to think about the things like, okay, here we need to process, so I just need to start checking from here, right? So this is the easiest way. When you are doing the things with that process, you will make familiar with the more things, and you easily get the things like, okay, how the things process like this, because in my point of view, it's the easiest way to see the code. It doesn't matter, you know the code, you are a developer or you are a tester, you are a beginner, you are an experienced holder. So no need things for that. You just need to some key points like for that process, like, okay, how I need to process to checking these steps, so you can more confident in some time, like, okay, that's fine, how we can go further for the insecure data storage. So okay, from my end, this part of the sharing the things like, okay, insecure data storage is how we can check for that. Okay. So this is all about the insecure data storage, right? If you want to test that application, you want to enjoy the testing, you just want to practice for that particular vulnerability, you can just go for the this GitHub link, and you can just try for that particular vulnerability. And this time for feedback, I just request for all of you to, like, I just started my sessions, right? So I really appreciate your feedbacks, and you can give me your feedback to DM me on, like, my contact details like LinkedIn or Twitter. So I will improve in my sessions, upcoming sessions, and I will make sure I will do something different or or more simplest way. I will try to do the things and explain the things. So yeah, thank you so much, all of you, and thank you so much, Vandana. This is all about this is all from my side for this session.